I'm going to show you how to make a foam core ender dragon for your wall. The things you will need is black foam core, gray paint, paintbrush, hot glue gun, glue sticks, X-Acto knife, cutting mat, a ruler or quilter's rule, pink and purple construction paper, and paper glue. So this is an image off the internet of what we're actually aiming for.
Okay, so we've already made the head. That's the head box there. It is 9 by 10. You can make it any size you want. It's just that's the size my son wanted. Now originally I had the snout being 6 by 4, but it turned out when I actually cut out the pieces that it was way too big. So now they're 6 by 3. So I've adjusted this to be 3 by 5, and this is going to be 3 by 5. And the bottom one here, this cut's going to be an inch shorter so that the mouth actually hangs open. And then I'm going to put some cardboard, purple cardboard, and some red and purple eyes, and then these in the nostrils, and the scale in another box, and then the splash card at the back. So I've already done my 3 by 6 piece, so now I'm going to do this back piece here, which is 3 by 5. So I bring my tool, my measurement, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to line up the edge of the foam core with this line here. And make sure it is straight across. And then I'm just going to cut straight. There we go. So now this is 3 wide, and now I need 5 inches and 5 inches, because I've got sides here, side here, side here, and a side here. So for 5, I've got my numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put that at the end and line it up with the straight edge of the ruler. And then I just cut across. There we go. So that is perfectly 3 by 5. And I do it again. That is 3. But these should all be the same. And they are.
For the bottom jaw pieces, the top you want to be 5 inches across, and the bottom line you want to be 4 inches across. So you're going to mark out your 4, and then you're going to make an angled cut. I'm going to do from the top corner down to the 1 inch mark at the bottom, so they're the same. I thought I'd show you how I actually glue these together. So I've got my 2 side pieces, so I'm going to glue like that. You can see the hot glue. I just put it, make sure this is the right side. There we go. Line it up. And then if you have any excess, just wipe it off. It's quite hot, so be careful. Okay, so if you want to get the exact measurement of what the top and bottom is going to be, there's 2 ways to go about it. The first is put it in the corner and draw a line up. The other way is we know that this is 6 and the width is 2 foam cores. So if you put your ruler, you should have your straight edge and your straight edge. You have your 6. And then you get 2 widths of foam core. You stick it at the 6 edge, and that there would be your line. And that's going to be the most accurate. Because these, even though they're glued, they do have a tendency to move and wiggle a little bit. Now for the back measurement going this way, this was 5, wasn't it? So you're going to have 5 minus the width of the 1, because you only have 1 in the front. So you could put it here, And you could go like that on the edge there, or you could go 5. Take your foam core, put it at the number 5, and just make a tick that way. Dry fit it and see if it works. So I've cut it and I can see that my original marks here and here are too far out. So I'm gonna make new marks before I cut it. Remember, you can always cut more off. You cannot add more back on. Okay, so I've got my top and my bottom piece cut. I've got my glue gun here, so I'm going to glue. You're gonna have a top and a bottom to the snout, so whichever is the best looking is the one that you will put the nostrils on the top of for the top of mouth. So this is where the purple triangle is gonna go, across the top there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is the nostrils. So I decided it's going to be 1.5 inch by 1 inch tall and 1 inch back. So I've got a piece of my offcut here, so I'm going to cut 1 inch. So that's 1 nostril, 2 nostril. Now I need the top piece. I was gonna do it like this and then have the top piece inside like that. So, and then last but not least, here we go. And that actually looks a lot better from the front, so I think I might make that the front. So next I'm going to do the horn. I was trying to figure out the proportion, and I think maybe if it's as long as the snout going back, that would be appropriate. So I'm going to do this one 6 inch, and I thought maybe the width of the nostril, so 1 inch, because it's meant to be, as you can see in the picture, it's actually thinner than the nostril across, which is 1.5. So I'm going to do 6 by 1, and then I'm going to do the same trick I've done with the mouth down here, where I've actually made this side shorter so it is an angle back. So I'm going to do this by 5, so it's got that angle going back. So these two pieces, this side and the opposite side, are going to be 6 on the length, 5 on the bottom by 1. And then the top is going to be 6 by 1, and underneath is also going to be 5 by 1, because again, you've got that inch difference. So I'm going to cut these as 2 6 inches and then cut the bottom to the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clean that up a bit. Didn't quite go through. And again, the same on this one. There we go. And now I'm going to cut this as the angle. So we're going to go in 5, make our mark, and now I'm going to cut from the top corner down to the mark. So this is what the horns look like when they're done. I just painted them with dollar store paints. This is exactly what I used, just equal parts, and that made them great. They paint really, really easily on the foam core. The other thing I did was the eyes, which is just construction paper. I just did one construction paper, glued with the other construction paper. And this is the finished, I don't know if you can see the tongue in there. It's easier when it's like on a different angle, you can see. And I did the exact same thing with the same paint on the back of the head too. Or the, what do you call this thing? Scale, I guess. And then the back piece, I literally just stuck the head down on my big piece of foam core and just freestyled what kind of looks like, you know, those comic book zap, pow bubbles, like one of those. And then I glued it, all hot glue gunned all together. So once you get the general idea of how to hot glue gun one box together, literally this is just a series of boxes. You can see how well the angle worked on the lower chin. So when it is actually on the wall, it's slightly forward on the table just because the back end is higher than the front. But when it's flat on the wall, like this will be the part I attach to the wall, this will seem like a greater angle. So anyways, that is the Ender Dragon. All done with foam core and a little bit of paint and construction paper and glue gun.